Let me tell you, of all the players who I thought was going to have a breakout year, wouldn't have predicted it to be this man. Karim Adeyemi has signed a new deal. I've given it to him, no questions asked. The release clause has vanished. He is here for the long haul. 22 years old, 14 goals in 11 games. He is absolutely crazy this year. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back. It's episode number 28 of our Newcastle Let's Play. Today, a live com double header to kick things off. A home game against Manchester UFC or Man UFC. Definitely not that other team in Manchester that play in red and are called the Devils. This is a completely different team. The other match we have is against Barcelona, who, well, it's Barcelona. In Football Manager, Luis Enrique is still their manager, which is a little bit odd. They are currently 8th in the league. They were meant to be our big challenge when it comes to our Champions League group as the second seeds. So far, they've really not lived up to that billing. So a win for us today could put us all but through to the knockout stages way ahead of schedule. I'll be able to chillax, relax, enjoy myself, and, well, focus on the league where things are getting feisty. Now, since you were last here, a lot of football played in all competitions. Some really big games here that we have to talk about, including the opening game of the season at home against Liverpool. So in this game, we got off to the ideal start to the season with a really big win. The first goal, a great save, I think, by Alisson in goal, but Adeyemi was there for the rebound. Not long after, he made it 2 for the game, and, well, Liverpool put their own ball into the box. It was Curtis Jones out wide. He sat it up for Ansu Fati on his debut. He scored. That was all that was written for that game. We won 2-1. We probably deserved to win by more. An XG of 3, Adeyemi with 2, and that really set the tone going forward. Our next game was a 5-0 win against Fulham. However, in our very next game against Arsenal, things didn't really go to plan. Bellingham picked up an injury. He broke a bone in his foot. And in the last kick of the game, or with the last kick of the game, we had a goal ruled out. It was a really, really good goal as well. You can see here, Arsenal on the attack. They were kind of penning us in. I thought this last highlight of the match was going to be them scoring. And then we sprung just a really, really nice counter-attack, if I might say so myself. We defended well, which is something we have done throughout this year. As you can see, the ref played advantage there because the Arsenal player was miles offside. Arsenal, I think, expected the offside to be given, so just stopped playing. Adeyemi used his pace to get down the line. He put it in the middle eventually for Fofana, then Rice. It was Rice who put it into the middle. Calvert-Lewin headed it in, but he was offside, and it didn't count. And I'm a little bit sad about it. Now, the good news is that draw against Arsenal, whilst not ideal, is the only time we've slipped up throughout this year, as into the month of September we went, and we didn't concede in this month. 2-0 against West Brom, 4-0 against Young Boys, 2-0 against Brighton, 2-0 in the Carabao Cup against Leeds, and we ended the month with an emphatic 4-0 win against a Villa team who have looked pretty good this year. Adeyemi picking up a first half hat-trick. We went and played Hertha Berlin, where Adeyemi grabbed a further 2 goals, and most recently, we took on Leicester, and against his former club, Fofana grabbed a brace. Yeah, didn't really show much respect to his former club. He celebrated in front of their fans. He was loving it. I was loving it. It was a party atmosphere. And, with it, if we just have a quick look at the Premier League table, we were top, but we're actually playing later than everyone else, playing against Manchester United. A win today, and we will go back to the summit of the table. Right now, we are the only team that maintain an unbeaten record. That said, a defeat here against Manchester United could see them leapfrog us and us drop down to 4th. Suddenly, that doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as the table looks right now. So we are coming off the back of an international break, and there are a couple of players tired and maybe having a few fitness concerns, which is a bit of an annoyance. Just looking at the squad on the whole, though, I've maintained a rather settled 11. Adeyemi has been running away when it comes to goal scoring. Calvert-Lewin, by comparison, considering his goal scoring record last year, it's been a tad underwhelming so far this year. Only 3 goals in the league. I mean, in 6 games, that's still not that bad or a return, but I feel like he's set his expectations so high now that it does feel like a disappointment. In terms of assists, it's been a shared bag, shall we say, between all the different players. Kai Havertz has had a pretty good start to his time at the club in his 11 appearances. Alphonso Davies has had issues with injuries to start his time here. A pulled calf muscle meant he missed a few weeks. Despite that, though, 2 assists in 3 games in the Premier League. A 7.97 rating is promising early signs. Elsewhere, Luka Dean looks very good. He came in when Alphonso Davies got injured. He got 4 assists and a goal in 4 games. And yet he's going to be on the bench today. And another man who deserves a little bit of credit here is Almada. Ousted out of the starting 11 this year. We've brought him in when we've needed to. When Bellingham got injured for a couple of weeks, this man was the man who made a splash. He's done very well. He's developing well. I feel bad that we removed him from the first team. 4 games played, a 9.1 average rating. I don't think that's maintainable or sustainable, but he can give it a go. So looking at the team for today's game, a little bit of rotation needed at the back because of little knocks and because of fitness concerns. Livramento apparently could play, but with his fitness condition not all that good, I'm not going to risk him. Elsewhere, Gvardiol needs a rest. Tomori has a knock. As a result, Luca Dean's going to come and play at left centre-back. Yeah, this is the new position that we said we might need to play him in at some point during this year. Perhaps this is a little sooner than I wanted to see it having to happen, but he's a very, very capable player. Of course, with him being on the pitch, he'll also be available for set pieces too, which is nice. At right back, Mbabu is going to come in for Livramento. And at the back, we're going to shuffle things around slightly. With Tomori out injured, Fofana is going to move into the centre defender position for us. And at right centre-back, we are going to go with Ben Godfrey. Of course, playing United at home here, we are going to play our 5-3-2. Last year, we rotated the system a lot more. You might have caught it in that fixture list. I've not gone to the 4-3-3 as often this year, just because I'm really liking what we're achieving with this, and I kind of want to stick with it. Of course, we did make a small tactical adjustment going into this year, ditching the ball-winning midfielder in favour of a centre-mid on support. And as a centre-mid on, not support, on defend, I should say, Declan Rice has done really, really well to start the year. He has impressed me in this newfound position. Hopefully, he's going to impress us again today. Anyway, this is the team. Adeyemi up front with all eyes on him. I feel like we've bigged him up. He's going to get a hat-trick today against Manchester United. I want to believe. Does anyone else just feel a little bit sick looking at the fact they've got Marino and Musiala in their team? 2 of our former men, 2 traitors, 2 Judases who have departed us and headed over to Old Trafford. Today, we teach them a lesson. I want revenge. I want to feel better about myself. If we lose here, if Musiala tears us a new one, I might not handle it particularly well. Anyway, there is a highlight almost straight away here. 4 minutes in. Where is that Musiala geezer? There he is, making runs from deep. Huge tackle by Alphonso Davies, though, on Wan-Bissaka. And now we look to attack the space in behind. Calvert-Lewin to the byline. Back to Davies. He's going to whip it in for Havertz, who heads it home for his 3rd goal at the club, and 2 of the new-blooded players into the team. 2 of the players were kind of still bedding in, linking up superbly. We talked about it a little bit, I think, last episode, but Kai Havertz is quite good in the air. I have started playing him as an advanced playmaker on attack rather than support, and he does get into the box just a tiny bit more. And given his aerial presence, given how kind of profound and prolific crosses are in the match engine, he's very good at being in the right place at the right time, just like that, to score. And, well, that goal came all from Wan-Bissaka giving away the ball. He's going to bring it forward again here. Can he give the ball away to us again? He can. Maybe we're going to get another goal the exact same way. Davies getting in behind Wan-Bissaka, goes in, hits it just wide of the post. At the moment, Alphonso Davies has Wan-Bissaka in his back pocket. We're going to look to build out from the back here. Of course, a couple of new kind of changed faces in at the back, but still a really, really good defence. Mbabu, superb ball down to Adeyemi. Calvert-Lewin in the middle, holds it up nicely, aims for Calvert-Lewin, picks him out, headed just over the bar, but we are looking good in possession right now. And we're straight into another highlight. It's Alexandro to Mikel Merino, the other former player of ours, playing in centre mid for today's game. Of course, a couple of our players in the starting 11, like Mbabu, they played alongside Merino. He used to be one of their own. And, he turned traitor, didn't he? You would have thought I'd be over it, having won a Champions League in his absence. But no, it still stings. It still hurts, let's be honest. Rejections, they stay with you, don't they, folks? Anyway, Fernandez is bringing it forward. He's going to play it forward to Greenwood, who is quick, gets in there. Ramsdale makes himself huge. Didn't get a touch on it, but he won the psychological battle there. Throwing on the far side, Davies with it. Gives it to Bellingham, who's back from his injury. And while speaking of the devil, he's there at the edge of the box, gives it to Calvert-Lewin, and he now puts it just the wrong side of that post. If we made the goal, I don't know, half a metre bigger on all sides, we'd be 3-0 up right now. Unfortunately, that's not how football works. Only a few minutes left of the half. Musiala's picked up a knock. I feel absolutely no mercy. I don't feel anything for him. In fact, I hope we tackle him harder, but not before Ramsdale makes a stop like that. Greenwood through again. Probably need to be a little bit wary of that. Mason Greenwood is a very, very good player in FM22. He is rapid as well. Well, from the resulting corner, Maguire free header. Probably going to feel a little bit disappointed to miss the target. Maybe we can make something of our own set piece. Fofana, free header just over the bar. Tell you what, an action-packed first half. Only 5 shots on target, but given the amount of highlights we've seen, you would have expected it to be a fair few more. So at the break, I'm going to tell the players I'm delighted with their performance. I'm going to try and remain a beacon of optimism here. Musiala's been hauled off the pitch for Jadon Sancho as well. So mission accomplished. He won't score against us in this game. Or we could maybe grab another here. Alphonso Davies all the way over to Adeyemi. Cross slightly overhit, but taken down well. And Babu gives it back to Ben Godfrey. Now with Declan Rice, playing that centre mid onto defend role. Kind of acts as an anchor, but does get slightly further up the pitch and involved in play compared to when he was a ball-winning midfielder. We have passed this around superbly. Kai Havertz has a second in this game. That was an absolutely gorgeous move. It was a little bit... Well, I was going to say a little bit round the roundabout. It wasn't very direct, was it, this? We've gone kind of round in circles a little bit. We've toyed with them before we've applied their lethal touch. Adeyemi, Mbabu, Havertz back to goal. Great turn. Gets it out and down to his feet, and then on his left peg, hammers it home. 2 goals up, 56 minutes played. I'm very happy with Kai Havertz right now. Although, let's not get too complacent just yet, because this game could change quickly. Ramsdale makes a good stop. That looked like a stop for the cameras, really, didn't it? I think he could have held on to that, but he has dealt with it, so I'm not going to complain too much. Now we need to deal with the resulting corner, and, well, with Fofana and his 18 jumping reach, that man is going to mop up most of the action at the near post. He's done that just there. Just beyond the hour mark here, I'm going to look to make some changes. Declan Rice has not had the craziest of games, so we'll bring him off for Zakaria. Elsewhere, Adeyemi's been a little bit quiet in this game. To be fair, Calvert-Lewin's not been particularly great either. I feel like given Adeyemi's recent form, I'm a lot more willing to keep him in the team. Additionally, Calvert-Lewin has been on international duty with England, so he's looking a little jaded. I think we'll bring in Sesko to replace him. Of course, Sesko, a player who was really making a splash last year and then got that torn hamstring and missed a lot of football. Second half of the year, he was still a very, very useful player for us. This season, he's not had all that many opportunities, but he's going to get a chance here to, well, show us what he's all about. He could get a 3rd goal for us. That would help ease my nerves. As well, we have a corner here. It's going to be whipped in for Fofana there. We talked about his 19 jumping reach or his 18 jumping reach or whatever his jumping reach is. It's bloody good. That's all I need to know. We're 3 goals up here. 69 minutes played. And, well, Luca Dean, playing wide centre-back, still turning provider. Really good header by Fofana. He is a little bit of a weapon from set pieces. I had to go and check for my own peace of mind. How much of a weapon is he, you ask? Well, he has 18 jumping reach, 17 heading, and then some good bravery to boot. He's good, isn't he? I mean, he scores a fair few. He's done it again there. Okay, 12 minutes left. I was going to say, are we going to embarrass United further? I guess we are going to look to embarrass them further. I think they've already been embarrassed. It's just a question of by how much. Bellingham with the ball here, back wide. Alphonso Davies out on the wing is open. We could easily switch the play over to the right, or Fofana with his 15 vision is just going to see a pass that I can't see. Unfortunately, doesn't quite have the passing to back up his vision. And the ball to Adeyemi was read well, but well, he's going to win the ball in the air there. I'd quite like to keep a clean sheet, keep our great defensive record going, but well, Manchester United have the quality to test us in these kind of scenarios. Rashford, Pogba, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes. There's some pretty good goal-scoring talent in their lineup. We also have some good goal-scoring talent in ours. Adeyemi wide. Sesko's the only man in the middle. Holds it up nicely for Mbabu, who puts it in. Sesko's efforts blocked. Pogba now just about going to get it away from danger. And well, maybe Greenwood's going to spring the trap card. Maybe they were just baiting us up the pitch. He plays it inside. Mbabu reads it, gets it away from danger. 10 minutes left here. Part of me wants to time waste. Part of me wants to go and try and get some more. I think the win is assured. It's just a case of, do I want to maintain the clean sheet or do I want to score more goals? And if you know me, you know the answer. As much as we pride ourselves on our clean sheets here, I like goals, me. I'm a simple man. I want the ball in the back of the net. I mean, Kai Havertz wants his hat-trick. I want him to get his hat-trick. Ben Godfrey stepping out from the back, tries to play it forward. Onana, what's his name? Not a great clearance away. Straight to us. We'll go again. Godfrey, Adeyemi, Havertz, Sesko hits it. I really hope that's not going to be ruled out for offside because that was such a sexy goal. The one-touch passing between the front three there was superb. It's going to be disallowed. I feel like we've just been denied one of the great footballing goals. I mean, let's enjoy it. Let's try and enjoy it. Godfrey plays it forward. Adeyemi was offside, to be fair. Nods it down. Havertz lays it off. Sesko hits it into the top corner. And, well, if you thought that was going to be the last piece of action, you were wrong. We are on the offensive yet again. Zakaria, Adeyemi in behind, saved by Onana. And now, well, we're caught a little short at the back here. Marcus Rashford, or should I say Sir Marcus Rashford, Fofana doesn't care if he's a sir or not. He's still going to tackle him and win the ball. Well, he does. Couple of minutes left here. I think that's going to be all she wrote. A 3-0 win against Manchester United. They created nothing in that second half. Fofana picks up man of the match. A great display. Kai Havertz with 2 goals as well. And it doesn't really get much better than that. We return to the top of the Premier League by a singular point. Our goal difference has done a world of good. And, well, we have our eyes firmly fixed on the prize of a possible title win this year. The early signs, they look relatively good. Now, as good as that win was, and believe me, I'm very happy with that, it's not the only game today. We have 2 days till we take on Barcelona. We dropped a couple of first-team defenders. Hopefully, they're going to be fit and ready to come in. Hopefully, you're going to stick around. Let's see if we can embarrass one of the biggest teams in world football, shall we? Okay, so 1 game in the books, 1 more to go. Of course, we're playing against Barcelona, who in Football Manager are set up weirdly. Because of all the debt they have in real life, there is kind of some replication of that included in Football Manager. So just to have a look at how they've done over the last few years, you can see they finished 5th, 2nd, 3rd. This year they are struggling. Their initial prediction was 3rd in the league for this year. Just looking at their squad, it's not a bad team. Their key man is, Pedri, who of course featured in an FM22 advert when the game launched. He is rather good, shall we say, in Football Manager. I think that's probably the understatement of the year. To be fair, they've got some good talent. They've got Jordan Henderson on the bench. They've got Diogo Jota. They're just signing old Liverpool players, is what I'm realising. Their team is good. I think our team is better. I think that this is a game that we should be winning, to be completely honest with you. Ter Stegen in goal isn't too shabby, though. I mean, he's not too shabby, but how does he compare against Aaron Ramsdale? Okay, he is slightly better than Aaron Ramsdale. Let's go to the game. So in terms of team news for today's game, we are going with pretty much our strongest 11. I am not taking any prisoners here. I want to get a spot secured in the knockout stages as soon as possible. That way we can start to rotate things later on. I feel like we've navigated the big task in Manchester United. We've rested up the players, and for the most part, players are ready and recovered for this one today. What it does mean is at the back, Fofana is going to move back out wide with Tomori in the middle and Gvardiol back in the team today. By the way, Gvardiol has just continued to improve since we've signed him, which I didn't really think was going to be possible. He is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, to his left, we've got Davies, who has started the year as really our best player. I think he has the highest average rating in the team. Indeed, he does. A 7.91. He's not doing too badly, is he? Kind of getting his funk on. Getting his funk on. Where do we go with this? I bet he loves a disco. £108 million paid for him. He's living up to the price tag. He's getting his funk on. I feel like getting my funk on. I'm going to ask him if he wants to go to a disco. Livramento's at right back. Livramento's not quite as funky by comparison. I mean, a 7.27. Pathetic. In the midfield, it's going to be Bellingham alongside Rice. Bellingham, considering how mental he is as a player, I don't want to say he's been underwhelming so far, but he's not quite been as good as I hoped he might be. I've got faith in him. Today's maybe going to be the day. Ahead of him, we have Kai Havertz, who, I mean, please ignore the declining. Let's just look at his polygon and how nice it is. He's a great player, got 2 goals in his last game, which is great to see. He's had a very, very solid start to his time at the club. Up top, I'm going to stick with Calvert-Lewin and Adeyemi. There was a temptation to rotate things slightly. Calvert-Lewin has just been a bit meh as of late. But you know what? I'm going to keep faith in him. Adeyemi, I mean, he's been sensational to start the year. I've selected a sub outside the match squad. It's fine. It's Mbabu. He isn't meant to be in the match squad anyway. For those of you wondering, Jack, when's Livakovic going to start playing? Like, he's played a game this year. He played against Leeds in the Carabao Cup. He'll get some opportunities down the line Ramsdale's not made a mistake yet. He kept a clean sheet against Manchester United. He's bloody brilliant. Anyway, let's give the players a passionate and, strong in self-belief talk. I need to get them ready and fired up for this game. We're away from home against Barcelona. Even if they're struggling a little bit, their team's still pretty blooming good. It's still Barcelona at the end of the day. Away from home, they're always going to be tricky. But when I look at our team, I want to believe that we can get the job done here. Diogo Jota, his cross is blocked. This highlight started like at a weird point. Barcelona on the attack, dressed like clowns, by the way. I hate their kit. Not sure if I should be insulting their kit, considering the fact they'll probably now just score against me. But yeah, not a fan of Barcelona's home kit, for those wondering. I know, I am a bit of a kit connoisseur. Now you know my 2 cents on it. I really can't get over the fact they've got Jordan Henderson at defensive mid. I saw that Jordan Henderson was available because Liverpool weren't offering him a new deal. Not even I was tempted by Jordan Henderson. Even I had the sensibilities to realise for the kind of money he wanted, he wasn't worth it. Barcelona didn't care. Now they're going to, face the consequences. Because Fofana, with his 8 crossing or 6 crossing or whatever his crossing is, has just put it on a plate for Calvert-Lewin. That was very simple, wasn't it? The ball into the box was a looping one. Fofana just given loads of space. I don't know who that is who's meant to be doing the defending. It was Yusuf Demir. The wide centre-back floats it to Stegen, came out, missed it, landed on Calvert-Lewin's forehead. It's in the back of the net. I think that probably goes down as a goalkeeping error. What a weird half. We've seen one highlight, really. They had 1 shot from range. We had a goal. Not a lot else has happened in this game. They've not had a shot on target. We've only had 2. They're having more of the ball and completing a lot of passes, but not doing a great deal with it. I think I'm happy with the performance so far. I'm not really unhappy with it. Maybe I'd like to see us be a little bit better going forward. It does also scare me a tiny bit that both our centre mids are on booking. So you know what? I'm going to be sensible here. I'm going to make a double change. I'm going to bring in Ben Godfrey, I think, at centre mid, which might seem like a weird one, but as a centre mid on defend, he is a very accomplished player. And alongside him, we're going to go with Old Faithful. We're going to go with Joe Willock to play the box-to-box midfielder role for us. Anyway, there's a highlight here. I have a sneaking suspicion this is that pointless highlight where you make a sub and the game just decides to show you 20 seconds for no reason. But maybe I'm wrong. I was wrong. Adeyemi should have scored. That was a chance for Bellingham to get an assist. And he's been let down. Right, free kick in a wide area. Havertz is going to whip it in quickly onto Calvert-Lewin's head. That was a weird goal, wasn't it? It's another quick free kick. We have those in our locker, apparently. We're 2 goals up. I'm not really sure how to feel about this. Havertz is very kind of casual and then just kicks it. No one's ready. Memphis Depay is not winning in an aerial battle with Calvert-Lewin. That's like watching a zebra try and compete with a giraffe for the leaves at the top of a tree. The giraffe's getting the leaves. Doesn't matter how hard the zebra tries. And the zebra could be there again. Or maybe it's Gvardiol instead who's going to score. It is Gvardiol. I don't know why I've said, we're the giraffe, they're the zebras. We're great in the air. Where is this analogy going? I should have stopped about 10 seconds ago. Instead, it's now dragged on through 2 goals. The ball was put into the box. Who was that by? It was by Joey Willock. Of course it was. Gvardiol gets his noggin on it. And we've scored 3 headers here, which is a little bit, bizarre. Obviously, in Football Manager, if you've not realised by now, FM22, crosses just seem to happen quite a lot. Like, we're not even really playing for crosses. We just have some tall players and they seem to win all their headers. Which, I'm not going to complain about. Barcelona, they play their sexy football and all that. We're just going to cross it to the tall people. Anyway, Livramento's picked up a knock here. I don't have a right wing back on the bench. You know what? He can stay on the pitch. I should have had Mbabu on the bench, but I wanted Luca Dean on instead. Gvardiol, great tackle. We love that. 13 minutes left. We're 3-0 up. It's been a very casual episode, I feel like. I think after this episode's been done recording, I might just go get my funk on, to be honest. Coop Myers plays it forward. Should Ramsdale have done better? Maybe we'll give Livakovic the next game in a live con. Maybe we'll give him a chance to show you guys, the fans, what he's all about. Coop Myers brings it forward here. It's hit into the bottom corner. It wasn't really, though, was it? It wasn't really into the corner. Ramsdale's just missed it. Either way, it's 3-1. The clean sheet's gone. My day's ruined. They've gone down a man through injury. And this game is just going to end, isn't it? With a 3-1 win, though, we will take that. That was a very anticlimactic end to the game. A surge of chances in the second half. We really stamped our authority over the course of the second 45 minutes there. after a somewhat disappointing start to the game. And with that, you can see we are now top of the table. Hertha and also Young Boys yet to play. In an ideal scenario, they draw against one another. And the good news for us is Livramento is not injured too much long term. Also, Gvardiol needs a rest. We're in October and one of our best centre-backs needs a rest. I mean, I can give him a rest. That just seems mental to me, though. Okay, what is the score going to be in the other group stage game? As I said, in an ideal scenario, Hertha, draw, and it's a great time. Unfortunately, Hertha have won 4-1. So with that, they actually draw level on points with Barcelona. I mean, as far as we're concerned, that result isn't as of much significance, to be honest. One more win and we should be through. In fact, even with 9 points, we're in a really good position to make it out the group. Anyway, looking further ahead to matches on the horizon, we have got a fairly big game against Chelsea coming up, who are currently second in the league. I don't think we're going to come back for that, though. I think I will rejoin you next time in a couple of months' time. We're going to come back in December. It's going to be very Christmassy. We have Man City and Liverpool away from home, both of those games, within 2 days of each other. Those are two gap matches that will really, define the turning point in our season. After a very hectic December period, are we going to be on an upwards trajectory? Are we going to be at the top of the table? Or is it going to be a bit of a slog? I'm hoping this year's going to be straightforward. The early signs are it's going to be a fierce battle at the top. Whether or not that remains the case, you'll have to tune in next time to find out. If you have enjoyed today's episode, as always, do drop a like on it. It helps me out massively. It feeds the YouTube algorithm. Karim Adeyemi is a god. Fofana is a giraffe. Oh, wait, no, Calvert-Lewin was the giraffe. The Barcelona defence are zebras. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll see you again on the next one. Take care. I'm going to go get on my Funcom with Davies and head to a disco now. So, yeah, see you next time. Where have we gone today?